Good morning.
What's up,
What's up, guys?
I'm
I'm going to be giving away this awesome Coors Light jumpsuit. Or not, it's not a jumpsuit. Yeah,
Like a onesie.
the onesie, the Coors Light onesie. Is it too early to be drinking? Today I want to discuss whether or not Whatnot or eBay should be increasing their prices. So if you guys are on Whatnot, we're doing a Q&A today. So we have the lots for sale. Let me see if it makes sense. The unpasteurized.
What's the
What's the difference?
It's not
It's not a glass of milk.
I don't
I don't get it.
Okay. So
we're doing a live Q&A today. We're giving away this sweatsuit. And my topic of the day is, should eBay and Whatnot raise their prices? So every Monday on Whatnot and YouTube, I do a Q&A. So ask questions in the chat. If you're on Whatnot, Connor will ask me the question. If you're on YouTube, Christine will ask me the question. But today I want to talk about whether or not they should increase their prices. So I posted this is really important, so everybody smash the like button and consider subscribing. There's a Whatnot Facebook group, and I posted that should Whatnot charge $100 or $50 to $100 per stream? And if they did that, there would be a lot less sellers. So let me ask you guys, put in the chat, please. Do you think there are too many sellers on eBay or Whatnot? Put yes or no. Are there too many sellers? That's the question. So I'm really curious what people think. Are there too many sellers on eBay, too many sellers on eBay or Whatnot? I'm really curious. I want to know. No, on whatnot? And we'll see what it is on. Are there too many sellers, not buyers, sellers? I wonder if YouTube's like, or if eBay thinks, if people think that there's too many sellers on eBay. So, okay, whatnot is saying no? I didn't ask you about inexperienced sellers. That's a whole nother conversation. So, the
Reason why
reason
I
why
started a
posted it-
poll on YouTube, so I'll let you know.
Paul?
Okay.
Okay. I wanted to, like, the reason why I ask is, I put, should Whatnot charge a $50 to $100 fee to go live? And I got a lot of responses, right? And this lady posted exactly what I wanted to hear, which was the 10-cent insertion fee on eBay made it so she didn't want to sell. That's exactly what I wanted to hear because I was trying to see if there are people that think like that, and there are. So 10 cents, this lady decided she doesn't want to sell any of her stuff. She's like, I would rather sell it, like keep it, than sell it and pay a 10-cent insertion fee. So that's amazing because eBay does charge an insertion fee and Whatnot does not. You don't need to charge, they don't charge you anything. You can go live and I call it Whatnot and chill, hang out and not sell anything, and they don't charge you, even though it costs them a ton of money in streaming fees for you to come on and just do nothing. And you're pulling buyers away from other streams by just hanging out. So I always have something for sale. So right now I have these lots for sale. There's 112 of them, and half of them have a skull, these skulls that my friend Ashley made. And they're made out of, they're candles. The name of her company is Loki. Is it Loki? L-O-K-I? Is that how you pronounce that? Or Loki? Yeah.
Like
K-I.
L-W?
No, her company is L-O-K-I. So is that how you pronounce it? I think it's the name of her dog. I don't know. But Loki is the name of her candle company. And so I wanted to support her. So I bought 56 of her skulls, which is apparently. Oh, okay. So Tech just texted me and said that people said there is a resounding yes. There are too many sellers on eBay. A lot of people are saying, is that what we're feeling in the poll? Okay. So should eBay just raise the fees? If eBay charged $1 for an insertion fee and there was no promotion, so you always got charged $1 for the insertion fee, but then they credited back you the dollar if you sold something. So dollar up front. So right now the way eBay works is they charge you the insertion fee after. It's usually zero if it's a promotion, all the way up to 30 cents, I believe, is the most expensive an insertion fee is, but after the item already sells, not like up front. But if they charge $1 up front, what's going on? If they charge $1 up front, then it would be, I think there would be a lot less sellers on eBay. And I don't know. I personally don't think that that's necessary, but if you got charged, let's say $5 to list an item on eBay, but you got your money back, you probably wouldn't list any garbage. That's just my opinion. I think that
You
you
only
only list the good stuff if you got charged $5 just to list an item. Of course, you get the money back. It's like a credit towards your fees if you end up selling the item, but I feel like that would basically eliminate most people because they don't even want to pay 10 cents. So what do you guys think of that lady not listing on eBay because it costs 10 cents? I think that's actually pretty common. My guess is that a lot of people don't sell on eBay because of the 10 cents. Poshmark is free, Mercari is free, and they don't understand how business works, so it costs money to run a website. And the only profitable resale companies out there are Amazon and eBay. Every single other company loses money. Poshmark loses money, Mercari loses money, The RealReal loses money. All these startups that lose millions of dollars. ThreadUp loses $5 million a month. So I mean, these companies don't make any money. They only exist because venture capital money allows them to exist. They're supposed to get to a certain point and become profitable, but I'm kind of pissed because I sent $50,000 worth of stuff to The RealReal, and they charge back when the customer returns an item, which sucks because I've sold $5,000 worth of stuff on The RealReal. 4,000 of it has been returned. Can you believe that? 80% returned so far. Those Louboutins I sold for $710 have now sold twice for $710, and both times they've been returned. So that's kind of wild. So for me offering consignment, I take that risk. So essentially, that lady who dropped off the stuff, when I sent it to the Real, I've already paid her, right? I'm absorbing the returns if there are any. I can afford to absorb the returns, but apparently the Real cannot. Like, I got some insider information that, like, they're not doing that good. So that's shocking to me that they can't absorb the return. They take the pictures, they have a million measurements, all of the item specifics, and they can't even absorb the return. They don't have enough money left. Maybe it's because it costs so much to list an item like that. So you guys saw I just posted a video called The Perfect Listing where it had everything, like amazing title, amazing promotion, amazing item specifics, 10 measurements, beautiful photos. Those items still have 80% returns. So that's really wild to me. Imagine how difficult it is. So if you guys have any questions, we're doing a live Q&A today from the shop.
Yeah, interestingly enough, on the poll for YouTube, it's 57% no, but 43% yes.
What's the question?
For are there too many sellers on eBay or whatnot?
Yeah.
Tech commented though.
Yeah.
He said, when asking if there are too many sellers on eBay, people say yes, too much competition. When asking if eBay should implement a fee to weed out sellers, the answer is a resounding no.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
So
you
you
can't
can't have it both ways, guys. You either you want to limit the number of sellers, and they do that in pretty much everything. Like if you have a nightclub and you charge $100 cover, it eliminates 99% of people. You only have people who are serious show up, right? So you have to think of some promotions to get people to go to your club. It's the same for eBay. Like if they charge you $5 per listing, you'd only bring your best stuff because it's too expensive to list garbage. And in the morning call, wait, let's do a poll everywhere. Can you guys list 10 items an hour? Yes or no? That's photos, listing, put the item away. That's about 6 minutes per item. Photos should take you about 1 minute, so that's 5 minutes for it, for the listing part. That's researching the price. Yeah, should be yes. So your time is worth $50 an hour. So if you list an item and it takes 10 minutes or 12 minutes and it doesn't sell, is that the same as flushing $5 down the toilet? What do you guys think? If you list something and it doesn't sell, is it the same as flushing $5 down the toilet because you just spent your time doing it, but it doesn't sell? On Whatnot, they don't charge you if an item doesn't sell, but on eBay, they do. Also, guys, you got $15 credit towards Whatnot now if you sign up using my link. I'm also a little bit scared for Whatnot, and even though I'm a Whatnot influencer, I don't like that they allow you to use music. I would like them to turn that off immediately, because I don't want Whatnot to get sued by a music company and then they're gone. Like I don't like, even though I'm confident that I could start over on another platform for the third time, I don't want to do that. I would rather they just don't, because isn't it a clear copyright infringement? On YouTube, if I use music right now, this video will become demonetized. So I don't understand on Whatnot how they allow music. Shouldn't that make it demonetized? So that worries me a little bit. I'm kind of scared for that. That's why I'm trying to figure out a marketplace alternative for me to start, because it always takes time to get going. But I'm a little worried about the longevity of Whatnot. I'm not worried about the longevity of live auction. I think every site's doing that. And in China, they already do that for everything. They do live shopping for groceries. Questions?
If eBay raises prices, it will help weed out small sellers / competition. Will probably be good for eBay sellers who are in it for the long run. What do you think?
Why do people say small? Like, it won't weed out any big sellers? You guys realize that a lot of big sellers have really small margins. Like, they only make $1 or $2 an item. The largest eBay seller in the world only has an $8 ASP. $1 would be, I don't know, it would be game over. So I think that the small seller, what's the difference? If you're selling something for 20 that you bought for $1, what's the difference for an extra dollar? You can't afford that? I feel like a small seller can afford that. A bigger seller, I don't know. Like if I'm listing 140 items a day, that's $140 more a day just to get started. You guys good? You have a question? So, can I send you guys to get lunch? Okay, because there's a lot of packing later. So you guys can, here, I can either, if they'll take my card, use my card. If not, then I'll reimburse you.
What do you want?
Whatever you guys want. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's try to find something that Anna can eat, because she has limitations. Yep.
Tim is asking, if we buy 2 lots, are we guaranteed a skull?
I can do
I
that.
can do that. If you guys buy 2 lots, I'll guarantee you a skull. Yeah.
Colin says, hey, Chris, if you were just starting off, how low would you be willing to go on profit per item just to build the store up?
I think I would be willing to break even on a sale. So when I was first starting with on eBay, I only had a 10 item limit. So in order for eBay to raise your limits, what do you guys think? What not to? How do you get a higher limit? What do you guys think? The limit is actually based on your velocity. Because velocity is how fast you sell items. So when I first started on eBay, with 10 items, I remember Baby Wise, Happiest Baby on the Block, Bringing Up Baby, and one more baby book. I sold all 4 of those books, I think, for a total profit of 73 cents. Total, for all 4 items. So how low was I willing to go? That's 17 cents an item profit. That's how low I was willing to go. But then when I sold all 10 of the items and I asked eBay to raise my limit, they raised it to 20 items. But in the beginning, I had a payment hold, so I couldn't even withdraw the money from the sale. So I shipped same day when I first started. I had to wait until the customer got the item, left a feedback, and then I could get the money. And then I couldn't list or get the money out in the beginning because they don't trust you. So it took the first 3 or 4 weeks. I only listed like 15 items because there was the limitations. They hit you with the limitations and you can't list anymore. But then after 2 or 3 months of doing it, I had no limits again. It was like 5,000 items and 50,000 limit after 2 months of selling out. The problem is people get 10 items, list 10 items, and 0 sell. That's the problem. Why would eBay give you more? Because you didn't reach it. You got stuck. So on Whatnot, it's interesting. They don't have a limit. I think on Poshmark, they limit how much time you can go live. Is that right? I'm not going to use Poshmark Live for now. I'm going to just stay on Whatnot. But I wonder I think Poshmark has a theoretical limit. They don't let you stream all day. On Whatnot, you can currently stream as many items as you want. The most items we've sold in a day is 1,600 items. So I'm not opposed to doing a 24-hour stream either. I'm down. Like, I'll get a couple of Red Bulls. I don't even know if I need Red Bulls, but like I'll get some. What do you guys eat to stay up? You guys have anything? Deadline?
Eat to stay up.
Or what do you do to stay up if you have to stay up?
If he's occupied with something, I can stay up all night.
I say
But I don't like caffeine.
You
Stuff.
have energy drinks.
Caffeine doesn't keep you up though. I just drink it casually.
What do you guys use to stay up if you have a deadline? Or let's say that your newborn doesn't want to sleep, and or what do you do to stay awake?
Tea and candy, eat more coffee, no carbs.
No, carbs are horrible if you're tired. Oh my goodness. Carbs are the worst if you're tired. You basically immediately fall asleep. Also, let me know in the chat. Can you guys see the skulls? Which skulls are the coolest? I think the rainbow one is really nice. But yeah, I wonder. I can see him. Yeah. Because I wonder about what was the topic? Why did I bring that up?
What profit margin you're willing to.
Yeah, I guess the key is just to sell items as soon as possible in the beginning until you get more traction. And they hold your money in the beginning. Even Whatnot holds your money for a long time. So it just takes a while to get started because in the beginning, platforms don't really trust you. Also, what's the most you guys have found? Yesterday, I found $50 at the flea market in one of the pockets. So it was a good day at the flea market. I found some really cool stuff, and also I found some really cool stuff which will run tomorrow. Also, we have a show coming up in 2 weeks. I'll show you guys. I got some tees from Tech and Sports. So his shop is called the Spot _ Coral Springs. So we got Mosquito Head. We have this Pulp Fiction shirt is ridiculous. Like a lot of people are looking for this shirt. I don't know if you guys can see. So we've got the DMX. This shirt's really crazy. So on November 7th, we're gonna give away all 5 of these shirts. The total of these 5 shirts is $5,500. So these are like some of the most desirable tees ever. So shout out to Tech and Sports and the Spot _ Coral Springs. This Mike Tyson shirt is wild. Mike Tyson, and the last one is an original Tupac. So yeah, these 5 shirts are $5,500. We're gonna give them away in 2 weeks, so make sure you bookmark my shows coming up. There's gonna be some really good ones. That day, we're gonna try to sell 10,000 t-shirts. So also, I have the goal of doing $100,000 revenue in 1 day. So that's the plan for November 7th, so stop by. We're gonna do at least these as giveaways and probably more. We're also gonna do a reseller event. So if you guys wanna stop by in person and go to the shop in San Francisco, as you guys know, Winterland, that was like they're like a big thing in the t-shirt industry. When they went out of business, Vintage DS bought out a bunch of their stuff. And so if you wanna look through the rest of the shirts, you can buy that lot 2 weeks from now and you can come in person. So you can get the lot, pick it up in person, and also look through the other t-shirts. But I'm trying to do a full buyout of 10,000 t-shirts in 1 day. So we'll see what happens. And I think that's gonna be the future of my buying, is trying to buy a lot. I am ordering a truckload of goods from Quick Lots, but I don't know if that's legit or not. I don't have any experience with Quick Lots. Maybe you guys can let me know in the chat if it's good or not. But I want to try 1 truck and see how long it takes me to sell. Pallets, we've done that. I'm trying to go big or go home. I'm trying to do a whole truckload, and then also I'm curious what it looks like to do a store buyout. I've actually never seen that on Whatnot before. I haven't seen somebody buy an entire store. And I'm not like Mr. Beast. I wish I could be like Mr. Beast and buy a store and give it all away. That would be insane. But let me know if there's a store that would make sense. But actually, maybe I'll try that. That's insane. I'll try. There's got to be a local shop with cool stuff where I can buy the entire store and give it away. That would be insane. I wonder if I could get enough views that it would be worth it. But more questions?
So Musa says, "Hey Chris, what would your ideal schedule be for a husband and wife eBay team? Finally got our kid in daycare and want to maximize time. Thank you."
This is great. Okay, so there's a couple of different things here. How to maximize it with kids. So I have a 18-month-old daughter, right? Let's see if you guys can see her. This is her. So okay, she's 18 months. So we just put her, we use childcare because both of us work. My wife doesn't have a job where she could take care of the kid and also do the job. I don't either. Like, it would be too difficult for me to do this operation with my daughter here at the same time. I can do reselling on a different scale. With what I would recommend is, if you're doing this alone and you have nap time hustle, it's imperative that you do sleep training. I don't think it would work. If you use the method where you feed the baby or you feed your kids whenever they feel like it, or they sleep whenever they feel like it, I don't know how you can do reselling. It's so freaking hard. Because I have done babysitting where that's the way the parenting style is, where you just feed them when they're hungry and you put them to sleep when they feel tired. That's too hard. I don't know how to do that. But our daughter is sleep trained because of that program, Taking Care of Babies, and those books I mentioned earlier. So she sleeps the same time every day. So if I was by myself doing this at home, what I would do is do all the household stuff. During nap time, I would knock out 15 listings, and that would be an extra $1,000 a week income for us. 15 listings times $10 profit. That's about an hour and 15 minutes a day. Right now, my daughter is sleeping more than that during nap time, and then sometimes she doesn't sleep. So either when I wake up, before she wakes up, I would do the hour and 15 minutes. during nap time in the middle of the day, or when they go to bed, I would do the hour and 15 minutes for 15 listings in a day. That's 1K a week. So, what?
They have a kid in daycare.
I know. So this is the if you don't have daycare. Okay, so now if you have daycare or your kid goes to school, very different. It's similar to what I do here because I can do that. I can run this while my kid's at daycare, drop her off, pick her up, and it's the same with school. So let me know in the chat how long, if you guys use childcare, how many hours a day it is. Is it like 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, 8 hours? I don't know how long people typically use childcare or school. I don't have a kid old enough yet. But I assume that you have at least a 4-hour time period where they're gone. So the 4-hour period, I would just knock out around 50 listings. So let's go lower, 30 listings. 30 listings a day in 4 hours. I would include sourcing time during that time because it doesn't take that long. Like I said before, the 15 listings will only take an hour, 15 minutes. So 30 listings would take 2.5 hours. That leaves you an hour and a half a day to go sourcing. So if you are 2 people, like you can do it 2 different ways. You can do it like Rinzi. You guys follow Rinzi on Instagram. They both hang out the whole day and do all the tasks. There's plenty of time to do that. That would mean a combined income of about 100,000 a year for 2 people. But if you were to split up, like my wife and I, when we have done reselling in the past, we split up and do different roles. So if you split up and do different roles, then I would say that 200K is a safer place to be because when you're working for yourself, you have to provide your own health insurance. You have to provide for not being able to find inventory sometimes. You have to have built-in time for slow sales. So for me, I've considered sales have been slow because it's not peak time to buy clothing. I'd say from like now till April, it's probably the busier time for me. So it's been slow, but I've been building that into my business. So I think that 30 a day per person, 4 hours a day is how I would approach it. And you don't have those 4 hours a day if you don't have childcare or school. So it's almost like in the beginning when you're doing the 15 a day, really learn how eBay works, learn how Poshmark works, learn how Whatnot works. And then when you get to the point of when you have some more traction, then when your kid goes to school, you know how to do it and you can expand. But I don't recommend trying to do more than 15 if you are also in charge of the household. It's too much to do. Too much stuff to cram in there. Also, one more thought for people doing Whatnot. I've seen lots of parents do Whatnot at night. And I personally don't stream during nighttime. I'm like a 9 to 5er. So I do 9 to 5. I'm seeing lots of people be very successful at night. So that's one consideration. I think I saw Zhao's Boutique. She does streams at night after her kids go to sleep. That makes sense to me. So got to adjust it to your schedule. The main thing is that your schedule is really, really important. So like on YouTube, instead of me making one crazy video every single week, I just do 7 good videos a week. So that way I just have the full launch. So as an example, yes, I'm trying to do $100,000 in one day, but I think it's probably maybe easier to do 15,000 every day because it's not as much of a like build up and hyping and marketing and like you have to get stuff like rare t-shirts that don't exist. Like it's really hard to do all like a huge launch. It's much easier to just be slow and steady and sell like the types of jeans that we're going to include are like Madewell, Adriana Goldschmied. These jeans right here were how I made a full-time living on eBay. And the reason why I transitioned over to Whatnot is because I'm not going to bring up his name because I don't want to get in trouble, but somebody was banned on Whatnot last week, and they mentioned in their explanation that, let's see, how do I word this properly? Who normally comes to auctions? This is really important. People who go to auctions are either collectors or resellers or people looking to have fun. That's actually really on point. So hopefully you guys think about this because he said in his video, people come to auctions because they're resellers, people come to auctions because they are collectors or they're trying to have fun. Those are like the 3 things. Or I guess maybe the, because I don't think, Christine was talking about this before the stream today, if you were looking for a hoodie, would you go to an auction? That doesn't make sense. You would just go onto a fixed marketplace and shop for hoodies, or you would type in hoodie. On Whatnot, you guys don't know. Like I invented the show that we're doing right now before the show started today. You have no idea what the show is going to be. And I think that's part of the allure, right? If you just say this is what I'm selling, you might as well throw it on Poshmark or eBay or Mercari because it's a fixed price and it's different. So if you're going to play on the auction game, then you have to sometimes take a bath. Some of your items are not going to sell for as much. One of the reasons why I found success on Whatnot, in my opinion, is prices. Look, can someone do the math on what $49 is for 15 pairs of jeans? Throw it in the chat. It's cheaper than Goodwill, Salvation Army, cheaper than everywhere except for the bins, which gives you an idea of where I got mine. Right? Like success leaves clues. You should be able to figure out where I got these by looking at the price. And also, I'm not greedy. Me charging under $4 a pair of jeans is not greedy. You guys put in the chat what you think. And to make it a little bit more fun, since Whatnot is random, I'm including these candles, which also gave Anna, one of my workers, an allergic reaction. So there are two different types of candles. One is unscented and one is scented. So the ones that are scented will say which is brew on the bottom, which is the fragrance, but they're going to be packed in bubble wrap and tissue paper. So if you're an allergic, then give the skull to a friend who's not when you get them. But if you buy 2 or more lots, you're guaranteed to get a skull. Otherwise, it's a random luck of the draw. Also, I found more success on Whatnot having a little bit of mystery. Because what happens is mystery is worth money. People pay for mystery. So by adding a mystery to all of my auctions, not all of them, but some of the auctions, I'm actually increasing the amount of money I can get slightly. So I think that without the skulls, without the mystery game, without a little bit of fun, the bottom barrel of these price of these jeans is probably like $3, $2.50, $3 would be the lowest. I could still sell out every single day because it's still so freaking cheap. You're just essentially paying me a fee to go to the bins, if that makes sense. Question? Whatnot?
So the salesman says, "What is the quality listing report based on? I'm transitioning to being a media seller and was surprised to see I was ranked in the top 10 after only a month of sales."
Yeah, it's not like, I don't want to be rude, but it's kind of embarrassing the quality of the average seller on eBay. I think, okay, you guys tell me, the average seller on eBay does not offer returns. They don't offer free shipping. They take, I think, 12 or 13 days to ship an item, right? And the average full-time 40-hour-a-week reseller only does $2,000 a month gross. So let me do this math real quick. The average eBay seller makes less than $5 an hour. That's just the reality of the niche. So if you come in and you listen to this YouTube channel and you're like, okay, I have my systems, I have my inventory system, my photo setup, you're gonna crush the average person who makes $5 an hour full time. They're selling under 10 items a day, full time. That's the landscape. So back to the listing quality report. The listing quality report is essentially a scorecard. So essentially photos, and I've memorized it because it's all I think about. So it's the photos, number of photos makes you rank higher. It's the item condition. So more accurate item specifics, condition description, item description makes you rank higher. It'll also let you know what percentage of your listings show up in the top 20% of searches, which is key because if somebody doesn't see your item, they can't buy it. So the listing quality report allows you to rank amongst your peers based on how good of a job you are doing, right? And also having a larger selection makes you rank higher. So it is interesting that my colleague in the Facebook group, Tech and Sports, ranks #1 in all of his categories, right? So being #1 in your category allows you to do something. Guys, please smash the like button because this is really important on Whatnot and on eBay. Guys. Can you charge more or less if you're number one? What do you guys think? Charge more or less? In my opinion, you can charge way more. When you're the best, you can command whatever price you want because you have the number one best selection, right? So somebody's looking for a hoodie, you have 800 of them. Really, really good selection, right? Then you may have the exact graphic that somebody's looking for. You may have all the sizes available, right? If you're selling headphones and you have wireless, wired, green, blue, pink, fuzzy, furry, all the different ones that people may be looking for, you have a much greater chance of selling the item and getting more money. So a lot of times people say, oh, you guys are big and you just give everything away. That's not true. Tech has more home runs than anyone. And to be honest, even at my scale, with my Rolodex, which is not anywhere near an expert, I still get so many home runs every single week. Like I find every single week, I find items over $100 that I paid $1 for. So when you become more of an expert, you get to charge more. So who wants to add to their list of things that they want? Charge more. You want to charge more? Rank higher on the listing quality report. So it's interesting because not my channel is like listing quality report or die, and I think I'm the only YouTube channel that talks about that. On Whatnot, it's the same thing. Whatnot is the same thing. It's the title, the photo, the presentation, the selection, the price, the return policy, the shipping policy. It's all related. It's the same. You guys realize this is the same thing? What really blew my mind is we're releasing a secret podcast on Friday. If you're in the Patreon group, and I did not realize that eBay is a live auction site. It's just 24 hours. This is all day. People have the ability to buy your item. Versus on Whatnot, you're in a fixed price, set time to try to make it sell. So it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, John says you can command, here, let me put this up. You can command the best prices, maybe, and you can also accept the lowest price as well and still make money.
That's right on the money. That's exactly right. You can charge the most and you can give the best deal. That's like the reason why I have sold so many items on Whatnot is I give good deals. You can't, no matter what your reputation is, overcharge on every single item. Doesn't work. So in the group, there's a Whatnot group on Facebook that I'm in. People are saying that Whatnot needs to advertise to people who pay full price. And people always say that on eBay too. Why does eBay advertise these cheap finds? Okay, so what are they supposed to advertise? Hey, come get overpriced items? It doesn't work. Come to our website where you can pay full price. I've never heard of that advertisement because it doesn't work. I'm not going, like 20% doesn't even make me want to come to your store. It's either it's the hottest stuff and requires no discount, or it better be like you're going out of business. That's the only way that I'm going to take time out of my day to go to your store. But if I told you guys right now, Patagonia is going out of business, how many of you would drive over there? You know what I mean? It's almost like I'm going out of business every day. That's kind of the prices that you want to offer. Your store will be busy every single day.
Actually.
That's
such a good comment.
You can
command the highest price and you can give the best deal. That's right on the money for being the best in your category. So also, we are considering offering compensation for expertise calls. So as an example, Jeannie in our group gave this amazing call on Barbies. She was like, this is this Barbie head. This is the superstar Barbie head. This is the classic Barbie head. This is this lady. This is this lady. She knew all the different faces, all the different arms, all the different reticulations. These ones click twice, these ones click 3 times. The legs, arms, wear. She even knew like, oh, girls play with dolls in this way, and it wears out the skirt on the right side. Like she knew everything about the dolls. So we're thinking about offering compensation for experts to come into our group and give a presentation on something that you know a lot about. And if you don't know a lot about a topic, you're probably not very good at reselling. Because like knowing a lot about the topic allows you to give the best deals and command the highest prices. If you're not an expert, that means that you're not giving a good deal and that you don't get a high price, which is a recipe for disaster. So I find that very telling. Like you want to be able to give a good deal and you want to be able to upcharge when you can. So we did a Polo Ralph Lauren Polo. And it had a logo on it, Spyglass, which is a really good golf course. That one sold for a lot more, like literally $8 or $9 higher than the other ones just because of that Spyglass logo. But if you had another golf course on it, like, you know, Dirty Oaks on 4th, and no one's ever heard of that, you just made the shirt worth less, right? So some logos make it worth more, other logos make it worth less. You would only know that if you were an expert in your category. So being the best means that you basically do the least amount of work and make the most amount of money, which is what people want. Everyone listening right now wants that. Like, Tech wants to create a newsletter, and like, I think Behind the Sales is a really, really good name for a newsletter, right? Because he can explain in his newsletter what makes things sell. Don't you guys want to know that? Like, how to price items, like how to be the best, right? Behind the Sales. I would subscribe to that newsletter, but there's a lot of people who would be like, it's too hard. I don't want to, I don't want that. So if we named it, I was thinking, if we named it Profit Now Newsletter, people would sign up and be like, my rent is due in 3 days. I need to make $800. Let's go. Like that, but that's not a realistic way to approach anything. Like, I'm trying to plan 2 months ahead for reselling. And right now I'm working on hiring a buyer to help me stay 2 months ahead. Because I right now, like, we're only like a week ahead, and that's not enough. I need more planning in order to do it. And it is interesting because the way Whatnot works, items come in and out really fast. On eBay, I stored items for 3 to 4 months. So it was very different. 3 to 4 months requires a lot more space. It requires a different type of strategy. But, I miss the eBay margins. Like, you make a lot more money on eBay because you can wait. Like, on a Whatnot, I don't know how many people are in here, but there's not, it's very difficult.
Sam's Adventure says, question, I would love to hear your view on people who say that sellers tank the market if selling under market price.
That only happens if the items are brand new. If the items are pre-owned, you can't really tank the market because there's only, like, for example, guys, you want to look it up. How much is this suit going? We're giving away this suit on Whatnot, guys. How much is this Coors Light pajama set going for on eBay or on Whatnot? What do you guys think? If I run this at auction, what does it sell for? It's a size large. It's in good used condition. There's no stain. There's no. It is essentially an adult onesie. Let me know what you guys think this sells for. You can look it up. And I'll talk about tanking prices in just a moment with this. Anyone?
$50 versus $20.
20. So I'm wondering if this is new or pre-owned that you guys are giving me the price for this set of pajamas. I'm assuming used. I would say new, probably 40 to 50. So let me ask you guys. Actually, does anybody know how many of these have sold? Has this actually sold on eBay, or is it just that's what's listed? You guys think? I'm curious. I don't know if this is sold or not. I'm assuming it has sold because I personally like Coors Light, so I would drink Coors Light wearing this pajama set. But this isn't real. I want something that I can go out in. I don't know if I would go out in a Coors Light suit. Does have sold? Okay. So 50 new. Okay. So this is interesting because would you rather buy this new for 50 or pre-owned for 25? Let me know in the chat. New or used? Used for 25 or new for 50? Where are you guys at with this? This is kind of a unique item, which is a good example because on eBay you don't want to sell items that are like oversaturated. I wonder if people would rather buy this new or used. I personally would rather buy this new. I don't think it makes that big of a difference. $50 versus $22 used. Used? Okay. Also, it's not something I'm gonna wear that often, right? So I don't know if it. If I were to wear it all the time, maybe I would get a new. What do you guys think? If you're gonna use it one time, does it have to be new?
Yeah, if I was,
If I was getting something that I'd only use once or twice, like a Halloween costume or something, I would just go for the cheapest option, basically. But like, it depends on the item as well. Like clothing, I'm fine with used, but like for, furniture shopping, that kind of thing, like my husband really doesn't want like used couches or beds and that kind of stuff. So it just depends on the category in terms of used versus new, for us at least.
I see. Okay, like I can see that. I can see that. I guess it depends on your outlook. Like for me, things that you use, like I get the best computer I can afford because computers like they affect your performance. We try to get good equipment for cameras. I have an iPad Pro for whatnot, so the screen is easier to see, right? Versus your phone when you're selling clothing is a little bit small, hard to read. So it depends. Like I remember going out with my friend to get drinks, and I'm like, "What do you want to mix vodka?" This is a long time ago. "What do you want to mix the vodka with?" And he said, "Whatever the cheapest drink is." And I'm like, "Bro, that's how you think? You like, I don't think like that. Like I'm thinking I'm gonna be drinking this. I want it to be like as tasty as possible." But he's like, "Whatever is cheapest." So I'm like, "Why even chase? Let's just throw some water in. Ice cubes are free." It depends on how you guys roll, new, used. But there's, as they would say, there's an ass for every seat. There's a buyer for every type of item. I personally, if I pick this up, it is relatively bulky, so it's gonna fit. What do you guys think? Can you fit this in a padded flat rate envelope? What do you guys think?
What do you think?
You have fit like towels
I
in a
fit like yeah.
so-
I wonder if you guys think this would fit in a padded flat rate envelope. Yes or no? What do you think? Size large. 50-50? We might try in just a second. Yeah? Definitely? Let me go get one. Really?
Yeah, generally YouTube, they're saying yes. They think so. Okay, he's going to find a padded flat rate
What are they
envelope.
saying? This is a padded flat rate envelope. Like $9 to ship. Does it fit in there? Some people are saying definitely. Really?
Someone saying in an envelope, yeah, it's not a padded flat rate.
Wait.
What envelope?
Oh, I think I can fit it. I think I can fit it in here.
you think so?
I think so.
I think
But we'll, I mean, some people are saying no, but it is definitely bulky, but I feel like it's gonna do it. So I have another question for you guys. What do you think about charging for information? This is should all information be free? Should it cost money? The reason why I ask is because there's so much I have invested into learning over the last couple of years, and I feel like, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I feel like the majority of people are getting dumber and dumber and dumber, and I don't know why. Because I feel like the majority is getting way poorer, and then the people who are learning, the information is so good that they're making ridiculous amounts of money. So it's either like you're printing more money than you can even spend, or you're struggling more and more and more. So I don't know if you guys feel like this, but I look at the like people who see, oh, it costs 10 cents, I'm out. How can you're trying to sell something and make money and you don't want to pay 10 cents? I don't know how that person can be. How are you choosing to resell as a profession, but you're scared of 10 cents? That doesn't make sense, even if you're just starting. So I feel like there's this huge divide happening right now. People who are not willing to invest in information at all, and they're just being left behind. And all these people who are learning everything. I've learned so much. And like yesterday at the flea market, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I felt woke for the first time. I thought, wow, I finally think I'm starting to understand how this all works. Like 22 years into my sales career, yesterday I was like, okay, some of this stuff's starting to finally make sense. So I don't know. Like I don't know if you guys feel like that, but I feel like the general population, I don't know if it's consuming TV or Netflix or Instagram or social media, it's frying people's brains, but I just don't get it. Like I'm looking at and it's becoming easier and easier to live at home. So People are in their 30s, 40s, 50s at home, and they don't have to move. So I just got a text message that The Crown is coming out, so I will be watching that show. Uh, but I don't know. I feel like when I'm watching TV, I'm absorbing the business tactics. I want to show this picture, which is awesome. There was a college. Got to show you guys this picture. It blew my mind. Okay, guys. Let's see if Christine can show this picture. This is a band playing at the farmer's market. Can you guys see the tuba? The tuba tip is the tip jar. Can you guys see it?
It's not quite in focus.
But can you guys see it? Hopefully they can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the farmer's market has these two really busy intersections, right? And the band set up right in, like at the apex, not apex, what's it called? Crossing point? Right at the crossing point, and the tuba tip jar is in the center of the, you have to walk around it. No matter which way you're walking, you have to walk around their tip jar. I was like, this is awesome. These kids, they're gonna be just fine. They figured out, like, this is gonna get them the most tip jar, right? And then, but normally when you see a musician, or at least here, the tip jar is right in front of them, right? So like, that's not even where people are walking. People can walk right by you and not even see that you, maybe they even enjoy your music and they hear it. And there's no obvious way they can tip you, they just walk straight on by. And this one, like, and the girl was really good. Let's see. Like, oh. I don't think I'm gonna get copyright infringement since that was, but she was really good. So she had a great voice. The band was awesome, rocking, and I'm sure they made a fortune. They probably made at least $1,000 in tips. So I don't know. When you guys are walking around, do you notice stuff like this or not? Now I will tell you, there was a lady. Okay, another cool thing, because this is interesting. This guy, I thought about hiring this guy for our wedding because he. Okay. Maybe they can see this in the chat. This guy has an oven on the back of a little truck.
Yeah.
So it's a brick oven on the back of a truck, and it's awesome. And he was telling me that he can make 8 pizzas an hour, and I was like, that's a hard pass for me. I'm not going to start that business because 8 pizzas an hour, that's not enough money unless you're charging like a fortune for each pizza. But he was charging like $8 a pizza, and that doesn't work. The math doesn't work for gas and dough and showing up and making 8 pizzas an hour. I just can't do that. I'd rather be the band. And like every single person hears the music, and every single person can leave $1. Or I'd rather serve coffee where you can serve hundreds of coffees an hour. And looking around at the farmers market, the people making bank are the fruit vendors who have really good prices. They're making a lot of money versus like the super organic hand planted strawberries for $8 for 4. Those don't do very well. And I feel like a lot of people are doing that on eBay, Poshmark, and whatnot. Like, I understand dollar starts is expensive, but that's the price of selling a lot of items. If you don't want to sell a lot of items, then you can have higher starts. So it's just different. I'm excited to see what they brought back for lunch. So let's do three more questions on YouTube.
Okay, regarding what you were talking about for free information or whether you should charge for it, Jess says free information is great, but charging for information will almost weed out the people who aren't serious.
I know.
And Auntie April says, in my opinion, I don't think dumber, it's more lazier and want to take a quicker, easier route.
Interesting. So lazier. So maybe that's what I'm seeing. I'm either seeing people who want to get after it, like they really are like, wow, it's such a good opportunity, or people who are getting, like, I'll give you guys an example. There's an item. That looks good. There was this item that the comps show $800, right? So the most this item has sold for is $800, but one was listed for $2,700. And you know what the person said to me? Get this. The comps are 800. The highest one listed is 2,700. This is what this person said. An extra $3,000 would be nice. And I'm like, from what? The comps show this is worth $800. Somebody has it listed for $2,700 that's out of their mind. And that's not even good enough for you. You said another $3,000 would be nice. I was like, wow. I didn't even know what to say because that's like, I don't know where that mentality comes from. I've never seen items sell for 800 now priced mine at 2,700 to see what happens. It doesn't make sense. But maybe that is right. People are getting really lazy. And other people are like, wow, that item sells for 800. Let me see if I can get it for less. Somebody out there is thinking, what is that item? Please tell me what that item is so I can go look for it. Yeah? No, you guys go ahead.
So
I'm gonna rock this for two more questions on YouTube, then I'll join you guys.
We have a question saying, "Hi Chris, love from Santa Rosa. Question: do you think having a zip code and city on eBay listings matters when a customer is buying? Thank you."
Yes. So eBay's best match system is based on your location. One of the factors is your location. So if Connor is looking for a tripod, and we're in Northern California, and one of them is in Northern California where you are, and another one is in New York, and it's the exact same thing, the closer one will rank higher. Does that make sense? That's one way of eBay delivering a better experience to the customer because the item is physically closer to them. So two more questions on YouTube.
This one. In how many months does eBay take to remove a late delivery defect? And should I buy a store subscription? I have 3,000 listing limit and listed only 300 listings. eBay is not charging for listing items on my account.
So in two more questions, actually, they're gonna eat outside. Okay, should you get a store subscription or not? That depends on if the assertion fees are worth it, because you get some free listings with the store subscription, and if it's more than the cost of just doing per piece, then get a store subscription. And how many months does it take for an item to fall off? If you're a low volume seller, it takes 1 year for it to fall off. And if you're a high volume seller, it takes 90 days for it to fall off. So it depends on your level of volume. I believe the transaction volume is 400. And guys, what is the number one way to increase your rating or improve your late shipment rate? It's the same thing. How do you improve your late shipping rate, and how do you what was the first part? Improve your feedback rating. The answer is sell more stuff. Last question.
All right. You don't have to spam, but here's a question from Brilliant Dominance saying, "Hey Chris, what's your prediction in terms of sales next year and so forth? A lot of people are saying that this Christmas season will be the final good sales season and everything will drop because of the recession."
This is gonna sound so weird. Okay, guys. So Sam Walton, the guy that did Walmart, he said in one of his things that the recession doesn't apply to me, and I like that. So I don't want it to apply to me. So I'm gonna find a way. I don't want my sales to go down. So if we are going into an era in the future where people wear digital clothing and you just put on your suit and press a button and now you're wearing a palm tree suit and you click it and then now you're wearing a cat suit and there's no more need for clothing, all you need is this polyurethane suit, I will stop selling that and I will go sell something that is not in a recession. So do I think the economy is on its way down? Kind of. I think that there's people right now getting rich beyond belief, and then the rest of the people are adopting this lazy mindset. And so I think that, let me think here, how does that fare for us in the middle? Because we're in the middle. I'm not buying a $90 million yacht, but somebody out there is. And then on the far end of like, have to live at home because there's no other option, that it's getting worse for them. So I would say that I predict between now and 2024, it will continuously decline. So overall volume of the economy will go down because they printed so much money the last couple of years of the pandemic. But I feel like that's okay because you can just opt out. You can unsubscribe to the recession yourself. You are not the United States of America. You are just one person. So you can unsubscribe from that and just sell what's hot. You don't have to be like everybody else and fail and get more lazy. So I guess that's my last question for you guys on YouTube. Do you feel like people are getting lazier and and on the other side of the spectrum, people are getting after it more? I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. It's one or the other. So I'm going to switch to Whatnot now. If you guys are on YouTube, join using my pinned link and you'll get $15 free towards a purchase. I'm selling wholesale lots of jeans right now. Maybe we can show them before we go on YouTube. So we're getting the lots ready. So these boxes, this is actually pretty comfortable. I guess it is pajamas, but this right here are the boxes that are about to go out today. And we're just sorting all the different jeans. You're gonna get at least one really good pair of jeans. So it's gonna range from Lucky Brand is the lowest of the high end, and the highest of the high end is Mother, a gold. What is it? We've got some Silver Lake in here, but all the jeans that I had are all going out. So, and if you buy 2 lots, you're guaranteed a skull. But otherwise, you have 56 skulls for 112 lots, and that's it, guys. So I'm going to be doing more and more wholesale as it continues, and ideally, I like to be between $3 and $10 per piece. That's kind of where I want to play. I want to play in the everyday value, enough money to keep it if you want it, or enough money to resell it for a profit if you want to. That's where I'm going to live. So appreciate you guys on YouTube. Now I'm going to do Whatnot.
Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out.